So welcome to Think Big with Dan Qasim, and Effie is filling in for Qasim today. And our guest today is Alejandra Davis. Alejandra, if you just want to share with us your story and your business, what exactly you do.
Hi Dan. Hi, Effie.
Yeah.
My name is Alejandra Davis, and I have a small shop, and it's called For Love and Crystals, and I basically share to people jewelry, gemstones, and crystals, and that's what my shop does.
Awesome. So, how did you get started with opening this shop?
Well, I fell in love with crystals since I was very little. I was just like super in love with jewelry, and I was always looking forward to wear my grandma's next jewelry, I guess. And so I fell in love since then. And at 2019, January 1st, I opened my shop because when I was working at another company, but I felt like this was kind of like something that I was wanting to also work upon and on my dream. So I just started.
Awesome. So, you were working full time and you opened this shop. How did you go about getting your first customers?
So basically, communicating one to one with customers was a very important thing to me. So I started an Instagram at first, really going through the people that I knew, starting conversations with people that I met, like just friends or like in the office or anything like that. And then like my Instagram, like I guess my pictures and also promoting there, starting to grabbing other customers, and that started to getting a little bit of traffic to my company. So I felt a little bit um, more for certain, I guess, that I was doing the right thing.
Awesome. So, would you say that even today is Instagram like the number one way that people find you, or just through Google? Like when people buy your products, usually do you know like how they're able to find your website?
Yes, so I've asked a lot of my customers where have they find my website or my Etsy or anything, or like I just asked them where, and some of them have said that they just Googled my products, and like the SEO has been really good towards my business, I guess, and my products have been popping up, and I am also do live sales on TikTok. So, and also live sales on Instagram. So I guess like that's how I bring people over. Live sales are going to be a huge thing, in my opinion, for small businesses for to start selling their product.
Well,
Okay, so in terms of live sales, like how does that work, right? So you go live on Instagram or TikTok, and then people just like during the live are buying, or you're saying, oh, like this is like on sale, like during this 1 hour. Like how does that work exactly? Because I've seen people go live, like I've never been part of a live sale.
So there's definitely a lot of companies that work differently. But my company works. For example, you join my live sale, and I'm showcasing like a full table of crystals or jewelry or whatever that's like on going on at the moment. Sorry, at the moment, and then my customers just buy from there. I create a custom listing from their so whatever their order from my live sale, I create a custom order on my website, and then they can just shop it from there and add anything that they would like from the website as well.
that's really cool. But so I wanted to mention actually, so I was like looking through your website, I'm looking at it now also, but I was looking earlier. You do have some really cute items, like some of these skulls I think some guys would like, or there was some of these bowls, especially this one bowl, it's the carnelian bowl, really
Yeah.
cool. But I'm curious, like what your background, because like, opening up I don't know if you have any e-commerce or any sort of technical background, but like opening up a website, having these, trying to set up where the customer buys it, how does it, make sure that, the order is processed smoothly. What was that? What was that for you? Setting up the website and everything.
I graduated from from like my the name of of my bachelor's is so long. It's called Apparel Management and Merchandising, and I specialized in production. But and it was like something that I learned how to do websites on my own, and also I actually also contract different type of people that do freelance that will help me to reach the things that I want, because to be honest, we can only be good at some things. We don't need to be good at everything. You can source your work to other people, especially freelancers if you're a beginner. So that's what I started to do, and I got help with building better, like, upgrading my website and doing all those type of things. And with your question about like delivery and things like that, I get all the orders and I ship them myself, and
wow.
I pack everything myself. But I also have my family who also work as a freelance to me when I need.
Oh, that's great. That's so cool. It's also, it's, Dad and I, so we have a software company on South Lake, and it's like, it's always interesting, like finding people who get into it. Like here, at least you got a background. You mentioned the apparel background from your university. But like just getting the freelancers, like, I don't know, sometimes some freelancers you get can be really amazing, really helpful. Others, not that great. So I'm curious, about what was your experience with the freelancers? And just as always, I'm always curious. I love asking people when they have an e-commerce website, like, what did you use for it? Was it Shopify? Was it some other custom build? Did you have issues? Because I don't know, I hear so many different stories, good, bad, and I just find it interesting to hear from people.
Yeah, so for freelancers, definitely I would always request for them to show me some type of work that they have done before. And since it was a web developing situation, I asked them to show me the websites that they have built, and that's how I went from there. But if I'm looking for designers, like for products, like for jewelry designers and things like that, like for example what I'm wearing right now, that would be definitely something that I would also ask for them to see the designs that they have currently, so they can be purchased from my shop and then sold at my shop.
That's awesome.
And then the other question was, what was the other question?
My other question, I think I asked about with your, like, the website itself, like, was
Oh,
it Shopify? Was it some
yes.
custom? And did you have any issues using whichever platform you used?
Yes, so I am using Shopify. I'm using Shopify. I do need to know a little bit of like web development
Hmm.
if you are doing Shopify.
Yeah.
But I started with Etsy just because
Oh, okay.
my market, my niche was buying from there, and so I started, and I still have Etsy, and I have like over 1,000 products in there, just because my product sells there. So if it works for you, works.
The quick thing was funny was you mentioned with the start of Etsy, like my brother, he loves like rocks and gemstones and all that stuff. And for him, like Etsy is like his favorite website. So yeah, that,
Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah.
completely. And if it had any problems, they haven't given me any problems really. Shopify, it has some cons and some pros and cons, but for the most part, it has more pros than cons, and they
Right.
haven't given me really a lot of problems. Etsy, they have raised
Really?
they are charging us like 15% right now of each product sold, so it's
Mm.
definitely not helping.
Assuming that your price on Etsy are probably higher, right? Because like you have to pay more in fees, or do you charge the same either way on your website versus Etsy?
You take the hit.
Mm.
You take the hit because
That's true.
you cannot be selling at different prices. Customers are not dumb.
That's
Right.
true.
Okay. That makes sense. So I guess, but do you find it like, for example, right, if someone buys from Etsy at first and they get your item in the mail, do you send them like a little note saying, hey, listen, like here's like my website do you try to like
Smart.
move them off of Etsy if possible, I guess?
Yeah, I do. I always try to bring them to my website. That's the main point. it's better for me. And because our customers actually like that, like
That's
me
good.
having my own website. They're actually preferring our own websites versus Etsy for some reason lately.
Hmm.
Etsy has been having a couple of problems.
Really?
Yeah, they have some issues going on at the moment, but
When did you say you started this again, your website and selling your products?
I believe it was January 1st, 2019.
Oh, okay, so 4 years now. Yeah, well, I'm sure those first, that first year or so is a lot of, I mean, I'm sure constantly learning, but a lot of work and pretty difficult. But like, what are your goals? I don't know if you have goals 3 months, 6 months, a year from now.
Yeah, I would like to make 1 million in sales.
Wow.
That's the reach goal in around I'm thinking 3 years.
Okay,
Uh,
great.
so to be because I'm very I go by steps,
Yeah.
and businesses sometimes grow by steps, but sometimes things happen, and with the pace that I'm going to, it's growing as I've been guessing it will.
Mhm.
So I'm guessing that will be my next
Wow.
step. Also,
Exciting.
I would love to just upgrade my website a little bit in terms that more people know about my brand,
Yeah.
and so hopefully we can open an actual shop somewhere at the beach.
Wow. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
So in terms of upgrading like your website, like in your mind, what does that look like? Because for example, like we always like learning from ecom brands, like because we have some clients that okay, like, I want to add, options for crypto wallets, or I want to add AI or AR. 'Cause there's always like new technology. Like I want mobile applications. Like in your mind, if you were gonna like make an upgrade for your brand, like what would that look like for you?
I will definitely want them to have a different lifestyle experience. So, if they can be shown, if AI could show my products
Hmm.
and giving all the product specifications and all of those goodies on my website, if they prefer to, and they can see all of the things that the crystal has, all of the imperfections or not that
Hmm.
they have. I think that would be really great for my business, and I was actually thinking about that today. I need to speak to
Huh.
someone who's tech to start that with
Yeah.
me.
You know what actually be really cool when you mentioned that? I know there's I think I've seen clothing websites that do where with I guess must be with the AI, so you get to take a picture of yourself and then like it shows what you look like in the clothes. So here you have like I'm gonna go to your website. You have some of your products.
Well, I mean, so like that would be like an AR. So it's like, for example, it's
Yeah.
like 3D design, right? So it's like we've seen actually it's really popular. Like Amazon has this where it's like if you want to buy like a photograph, you can like look like in your room, like what it will look like in your room, and it's
Yeah.
like a 3D picture. Because
Yeah.
like especially people are buying products online.
That would be
They,
pretty cool.
yeah, because they
Yeah.
want to understand like the size of like what, like how's it going to fit in their room? Like how's it going to look on their shelf? Like that's something that we've seen that like a lot of people in, various industries have a huge use case for it.
That would be great.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, and it's like for us, it's like, I always tell people, I'm like, technology moves in dog years,
Yeah.
it moves so quickly,
Yeah.
It is.
and
Yeah.
so I guess in terms of like if somebody wanted to start their own e-commerce business today, like what would you recommend? Like how could somebody get started in 2023?
Don't think about it too much. Just do it. I would recommend to start with small products. So it's easy to ship, and you don't have to have a lot of items in your house. If you were to start, you need to start that way, and you need to not waste a lot of money on different type of things. So that would be the way to start, and just don't think too much about it. Start. If you have any questions, just let me know, and I will be more than glad to help you out on your journey.
Follow-up question from Dan's. Now, what was the so what was your biggest mistake you think in these 4 years journey?
My biggest mistake will be not doing a um not investing a lot on advertising. I
Okay.
think that advertising, I think that I've put a lot of weight on my own on
Mm.
my own,
You're one
post.
person, yeah.
Yeah. So I haven't advertised more, and I think that TikTok, it's a great way to start advertising right now.
Yes, yeah.
Promotion starts at $5, so you know you can really start that if you're a small customer. I mean, a small business, but I mean, I am doing that now.
So in
Okay.
terms of running ads, like let me ask you this. So, I mean, do you do it yourself or do you have an agency? Like, how do you know like what kind of ads to create per se that are going to reach people?
Um, I don't have an agency at the moment, so it's a trial and error situation.
Mhm.
But people like a lot of like really what I'm doing in the back, how I am packing orders. They like a lot about what I'm doing in the back and how I'm doing my job. So every time that I post that, it goes viral. Whenever I do something else, it kind of like, but I still have to throw that information out there. So hopefully one day I'll get better at what I'm doing.
So you're saying that like the ads of your journey, like showing people
Yeah.
how their product is getting from you to them
The
is
human
resonant.
element.
Yeah, like that's what's resonating with
Yeah.
people on TikTok.
Yeah, they love that. No, they love looking at their orders being packed too.
Mm. Oh, that's smart. Oh, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
that's cool. So I guess, but do you feel like TikTok or Instagram is better for your business?
TikTok,
TikTok?
but you have to have an Instagram.
So that's
Ye-
what young people are doing. All the young people love TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah, and right now just focus on young people
It's funny. The
and their
future
families. It's
and the
their future. It's the
families.
future. Yeah, I
So, so
want every family to have a crystal in their house.
that's amazing. So I guess is there a certain like age demographic that's usually buying your products? You're saying TikTok, but it's like people always have this perception, at least I think, or I feel like, oh, it's like TikTok is only for young people, but it's really not true. I mean, I see like a lot of older people of all ages on TikTok. So do you have like a certain age demographic, or do you pay attention to like what age of like your customers are?
They are 25 to 55,
Okay,
Cool.
that's good to know.
and mostly women.
Mostly women.
So how do you break into the men's area? How do you get men to buy it? Have you thought about that? What's your plan for that?
Yeah, my name doesn't really help for Love and Crystals. It's very feminine,
Mm.
and it like my product, like I throw a lot of feminine energy. So like there is a lot of products like I bring and that men like, and they all always go in
Like
my website and
like
buy it
on your
on hiding.
yeah, on your website, those crystals, it should be like for love and crystal, and it should be like tough style or something like grunt style, something like manly.
Yeah, there's a lot of customers that in the crystal or gemstone area where they like a lot of like going and hunt for the crystals and things like that, and that's what the guys like. So what I do about that is I bring a lot of natural, like raw looking crystals, like maybe like this one, or skulls
Mm,
and things like that. That
yeah.
men are more interested in those type of products. Jewelry, I have brought, and they do sell. They do like it. So I'm really hopeful that if this summer line is selling, that I'm going to open a fall line probably for men
Wow. And
this
you
year.
should also do like little like I don't know, dragon figurine or dragon head or something. Like that would be a
Oh, I do. I have an idea.
I'm telling you, my brother he's got something like this. Yeah, for sure.
That's
Yeah.
cool. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah,
So yeah,
It's
I do. And actually a lot of moms buy it for their kids,
yeah.
or a lot of like that. Or they buy it and then the kids steal it for the room
Oh
and
yeah.
things like that. So
Makes sense. Yeah, I see that.
so I guess like you were talking about, like you're packing your own orders, but what does your typical day look like? I mean, how much time are you spending packing orders versus, is talking to customers or doing TikTok? Like, what does a typical day look like for you right now?
so right now a typical day for me would be I wake up and whatever the first thing I do is I start just taking pictures of my products, and I take advantage of the daylight. because crystals look better in the daylight. And so a lot of my content, I create a lot of my content during that time, and take pictures different, at that time as well. And like after lunch, I start like organizing the products for a later live sale at night. I start live sales probably like around 5:30 to 6. It just really depends, but it's like an after thing. I really focus on those times where people are back from work and they are ready to just cuddle in their beds and or sofas and watch a live sale and buy some crystals.
So do you do live sale every single day or just during the week, or how often do you do it?
No, usually I do them on Friday to Tuesday.
How many people like tune in for your live sale?
Sometimes I get no one, but sometimes I get 20 people. Sometimes I get 10. Sometimes I've gotten so lucky. Sometimes TikTok goes viral and I got 200 people.
Oh, wow.
It really depends. But I'm trying to figure out how to keep it a steady thing.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to do like a same day, same schedule type of thing, because people are creatures of
habit. Yeah.
Of habit.
Sure.
Except me.
So are people like, do you ship like same day usually, or or like how does that work? 'Cause I think, especially in e-commerce, like obviously Amazon is always like, people are always expecting things to happen overnight, right? So it's like, do you have like, how do you do that in terms of you're shipping everything yourself? Like, how does that look like for you?
Okay, so live sales, I'm pretty clear to my customers that live sale orders will be shipped on Tuesdays to Fridays from order that they're being paid. So it's like a one-on-one communication. They know that their orders are going to be shipped during those days. I really want them to be shipped right away. We don't want to keep any of the products staying by here. So we definitely want your products to be at your house ASAP. And so if you buy like from my website, I will ship 1 or 2 days after it was purchased to allow payments to go through.
I was also wondering, I was curious, but like you mentioned in 3 or 4 years, you want to get to like $1 million in sales, which is a lot of money. It's great. But like, that's a lot of sales. Like, I don't know now if this is your full-time job, if you have anything else, but like get to $1 million, like I'm assuming I hope you have a plan to help get to that. Like you can't be packaging all those products to get to $1 million in sales. No. You've thought about that. No?
Yeah, so you scale up and that's where you are, but I think that right now I'm doing the most work myself to avoid, so I can save as much and can have as much as like liquidity on my shop. And so I definitely going viral, something like that will definitely change the whole situation. But I think that a lot of crystal shops, they work like that. They even find help from their family members or anything like that to ship them, even if we sometimes I do have so many orders that I need help, and sometimes I don't. So it's just really finding the right people to help you out during the time of need.
Makes sense.
No, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, because I had an e-commerce store for 9 years before like I was doing this. The same thing. Like my mom used to help me pack orders. So as long as you have family or people around that could help, it always makes a huge difference. I guess just to wrap it up, just what's your like final message to the world? I guess anybody that wants to start their own business or any young people listening, what advice do you have for them? Who I think like a lot of people aren't sure what they want to do career-wise. Like, what advice do you have for someone who's in high school or college right now on if they want to be like an entrepreneur, like what it takes?
Yeah, so I would suggest if anyone is looking to be an entrepreneur or build their own business, I would definitely look to sell some kind of product or service that you really love. Sometimes it's really silly. It doesn't have to be like a big deal even. So something that definitely you love and that you know how to describe, that you know from your soul, or that you really want to share with people.
Awesome. That's a great message. Well, Thank you so much for your time today. I really enjoyed chatting. I learned a lot about, I didn't know anything about Chris. Like I know Effie knew like a little bit. But yeah, thank you so much for your time. And yeah, so a really good conversation.
Nice talking to you.
Sending you a lot of magic.
Thanks, you too. All
Bye.
right, bye.
Thank you, Alejandra. Thank you.
Bye.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.